there everyone, it's Anthony back with another video here on single and placing. Hi, just making sure we're looking good there. Hi, I hope you're having a fantastic day, weekday, weekend, week, month, evening, morning, overnight, all of that good stuff. Just doing another walk. We just walked out the front door and we're just gonna go on a little neighborhood stroll here. It is Sunday, May 5th, at the time of filming this. And me and Apollo already did about a 3-mile walk earlier today that I tried filming a little bit of, but it was just, we were at the lake in Littleton. I've done a whip and jam there before, and there was so many people that I kept getting distracted and having to I stopped talking when, people would pass by, and then a couple people wanted to stop and chat and talk about Apollo. And so I was just like in a funky mood. I was just like, oh my gosh, hold on. Oh my gosh, hold on. I have to stop. Hold on, I have to stop. And finally I was like, okay, we're done. We're not doing this anymore. So we finished the walk. I got home, swapped out the laundry, did a little diamond painting, but yeah, I could tell Apollo needed more than the 3 miles. He was acting pretty antsy, so I was like, all right, let's do a little sunset, evening stroll. And it's a beautiful day. It's been beautiful out, so we're still gonna see a ton of people, most likely, but I'm gonna try to avoid crowds as much as possible so we can chat. And then the other thing to keep in mind is my memory card only has about an hour of space remaining on it for filming. So if that cuts off, I'll have to jump in there and delete some old stuff so we can keep chatting if we hit an hour, which I'm gonna probably walk until it gets dark because it's nice and warm out. So we may have to do that, we'll see. But yeah, I hope you're doing well. Hope things are going good, and make sure to leave in the comments how things are going. Oops, someone left their sweater here. Uh-oh. Hope there's nothing important in there. Yeah, I hope things are going well. Still kind of in a funky mood with filming. I don't know. I don't know why my attitude about recording has been so bleh, but I'm hoping to get back into it. I like giving you guys updates, and I do enjoy catching up, but for whatever reason, I haven't been, my typical mode is like, anytime we're going on a walk or leaving the house, I'm like, grab the filming stuff, grab the camera, grab this and that, and I've just been less inclined to do that recently, so I don't know what that is. But we're still here. We're here. We're having fun. Like I said, we did a walk today and yesterday. Yesterday was a big day for me as far as just stuff going on. I went and had lunch with my mom and my stepdad, who was in, come on, let's keep moving, was in from Honolulu, and my brothers and my mom's friend and her husband. We all went out to eat, and come on, Apollo. We all went out to eat, so then I did that, and then had to hustle back to the house because my roommate friend Joe, and my other old roommate friend Spencer had their joint birthday party yesterday. And so I had to hustle back. I wanted to get a new shirt for the party, so stopped by Target and picked up a new shirt and went and hung out with them. And was at that party until, about 9-ish, 9:30, and then I had this little like singles meetup thing at a bar to go to. So I popped over there. There was only like 4 people that ended up, that actually, I think there was about 10 that signed up, but only about 4 that actually showed up. It was just a little awkward, or pretty awkward. So I was there for just a short time. I was like, oh, I'm just popping in to say hello and blah, 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 and just chatted for a little bit, and then I got out of there. I wasn't really feeling it, wasn't really feeling it. It was pretty awkward. And tonight, they're actually meeting up again. Actually, I think that's over. They did a brunch today, and then they were going out to some bar or this club they have like a all-you-can-drink beer at one of the bars/clubs in Denver on Sundays, and it's from 4 to 8, and it's almost 8, so I missed that, but I wasn't particularly interested. But that same bar, hey, there's a truck coming. What is going on today? What's your attitude today, huh? He's been very pulley and Yankee today. I don't know what his mood is. He's matching my mood. It's just like not interested in anything or not interested in listening. It's my mood is rubbing off on him in a different way, I guess. So I'm just kind of like, and so he's responding with pushing me further. Come on, let's go. Listen up. I think it has to do with the fact that we haven't been to the off-leash dog park in almost a week now. And I think he's got some extra pent-up energy that no amount of on-leash walking is going to take care of. He just needs to sprint and get it all out. But we'll have to do that tomorrow after work. But anyway, he has been very patient about that, though, because yesterday I took him for a walk in the morning, and then he was in the house pretty much all day. We did a very short potty walk when I came back from lunch before I went to the party. And then other than that, he was alone in the house again until almost midnight. And so he didn't really get any exercise, real long walks yesterday. So he's been very patient with me. So I understand why he is being rambunctious, because usually we would have put in, 4 miles a day as our average. We probably did less than a mile yesterday. So come on, let's go. So we're going to try to get it out of him right now so we can sleep. Ooh, we need to put the trash out. Tomorrow's trash day. So anyway, yeah, I wasn't really feeling it. And then tonight they had that little event, and I was like, I just don't want to go. That same bar does karaoke, typically on Sundays from 8 p.m. till 2 a.m., but I don't think they're doing it tonight. I didn't see it on their website. Usually they post on like their website or on Facebook like, hey, we're doing karaoke, but I didn't see it tonight. So I don't know if they had some other event planned. Sometimes they'll do like, oh, it's underwear night or, stuff like that. But I didn't see anything. So I'm not going to go over there. I think I'm just going to keep doing laundry and just have a chill evening. But yeah, we'll see. I'm going to keep going to those little meetups and stuff. This one was just kind of a bust, but that's okay. They're not gonna all be winners, You just have to keep trying. So anyway, so that's what's happened this weekend. Since the last time we spoke, work's going well, life's going well. Everything's just kind of moving along. Whoa, that's a lot of bunnies. That's a lot of bunnies, Apollo. What are you gonna do? Let's go. Oh my goodness, there's so many rabbits and animals because it's spring here and we're right up against the mountains, as you can see. We're right up against the hill here, so tons of rabbits. There's a neighborhood fox now. I believe she has a den in the little creek that we walked over, a little ditch that we walked over to get to the park up those stairs. And so she's been kind of lurking around even in the daytime. And editing Anthony, if you can remember to throw a photo of her in so everyone can see. Yeah, she's hanging out around the house and just kind of protecting this little area and bringing food and little scraps and this and that back to the den. So this is the start of South Table Mountain hike. You can see the cars here, and it goes all the way up there. It's warming up enough now that the trail isn't muddy or very muddy, so we're most likely gonna start hiking that. I'd like to do it every day because it's about 3 miles round trip, and it'll get me some good exercise, and Apollo will be tuckered out after that big old hike. So we're gonna start doing that daily. So yeah, it ends up there. You can't see it, but about halfway up the ridge there is some deer or elk hanging out on the ridge. There's 2 that I see about halfway up. I don't see any more, but yeah, we just get, we're right up against the mountains, so we get a lot of wildlife. Here's another entrance to the trail here where these cars are parked. But yeah, very close to the house. We can do a daily hike up there. So that's my goal for the summer, is to do that every day, to get to the very top of that and back. So we'll see how frequently that happens. But anyway, but yeah, we have a fox den near the house and rabbits, and then the coyotes at night are a little ominous sounding because they do their yips and their cries, and it gets pretty loud. Apollo used to be, when we first moved in, he was a little freaked out about it, but now he just stays asleep even with that. I'm like, how do you sleep through the yip 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 yip? I'm like, oh, it freaks me out, but he's gotten used to it. I haven't. But anyway, so that's life stuff. As far as diamond painting stuff goes, I finished Gizmonda by Alphonse Mucha, and so I started that on April 1st and finished it on Friday during the live stream that Jade and I did for Jaded Jamboree. So that was the 3rd. So just a couple days over a month to finish that, which is shocking because that's the largest kit that I've ever finished, and I did it in pretty much a month. But it had a fair amount of color blocking, a lot of confetti, but also a lot of color blocking. It just moved quickly, and I feel like I didn't spend, a significant more amount of time on that kit than I do other kits. But I think the reason I got it done so fast is I stopped working on my other whips. So it was my only project, when usually I'm at least working on 2. So I think that's what helped it move along. But I'm really happy with it. It's kind of bittersweet because I did realize that it isn't the complete Gizmonda poster. So I did talk to Jade on the live on Friday, and she's gonna do a custom for me that's the top of the rest of the poster that was missing, which is the actual title of it, Gizmonda. So once I get that and finish it and stitch the 2 canvases together, I'll be much happier with the whole thing. But I'm just bummed that I accidentally sent her an incomplete picture. But it's okay. It still looks fantastic. It still looks really good. I'm still gonna paint the borders and hang it for now because I'm not sure when I'll get to finishing it, but I will be much more happy when it's actually, the full image is completely done. But yeah, and I also have to make sure that whatever she sends, that top is not gonna be too tall because I don't know if it'll fit on the wall. I think it'll be fine. I think it'll be fine. But in our house, in the main floor, it's an older home, so the ceilings aren't squared at the top. It rounds up. It's like a curve from the wall up to the ceiling. So I don't know if it's going to start going up that curve or not, and I'm hoping to avoid that. So anyway, so that's that. As far as other projects, now that that's done, I started working on Summer by Alphonse Mucha and Diamond Painting Shop. I figured I might as well jump into that and see how much progress I can make on it before Summer with the Masters. I'm planning on that being one of my whips for Summer with the Masters, but who knows, if I finish it this month, then Summer with the Masters will be focused on my cross-stitch conversion, as well as Apollo. Stop pulling, buddy. Stop pulling. You can't walk in those flowers. They're too pretty. Someone did a really good job with their landscaping. Nope. Come on. Hi. So, yeah, we'll see. If I finish it by June 1st, then I'll have Moussenet Lob Mousse as one Old Masters to work on. And then I have All Is Vanity that I need to kit up because I'd like to work on that for Summer with the Masters. And then I'll probably pick one more Old Masters to kit up, probably a round drill, because I won't have a round drill now, Old Masters going, now that Gizmonda's done, and Summer, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be able to get Summer done. So I don't know. I'm not sure what I'm going to pick next, or what round drill Old Masters I have in my stash that I'll select. I've got a few to choose from. I've got Autumn from Alphonse Mucha from Jaded Gem Shop, another big old panel. I don't think it's as big as Gizmonda, but it's pretty big. I have that. I've also got the Tree of Life from Jaded Gem Shop and Gustav Klimt. That one's ginormous. I don't know if I'll do that for Summer with the Masters. And I think I have at least one or two others that could be potentials, but I'm really on an Alphonse Mucha kick right now. I've been listening to quite a few little documentaries and videos about Alphonse Mucha and Sarah Bernhardt. I actually just listened to today about a 40-minute documentary that was put together a long time ago, and it's actually from Alphonse Mucha's son. So he did like a film, a little documentary. I'm assuming this is back in the 50s, 40s, 50s, 60s. He looks fairly old, so it could be as late as the 70s. But he's just sitting there in Mucha's studio just chain smoking and talking about his dad. And it's very, very cool, very of the time. So I've been learning a lot about him. I'm most likely, my June video for Summer with the Masters is going to be a whip and chat where I talk about the life and times of Alphonse Mucha. Maybe that pushes me to kit up Autumn by Alphonse Mucha if I'm going to be talking about him during Summer with the Masters. That might be the impetus for me to work on that kit. But anyway, so I'm going to put together a whip and chat just talking about the life and times of Alphonse Mucha and his relationship with Sarah Bernhardt and their respective careers. I'm going to keep it to one whip and chat, but because I've just been kind of enamored by, come on, by this story, I don't quote me on this just yet, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to do some kind of Mucha-based paint-along, either at the end of the year after A Question of Reality paint-along or sometime next year, because there's a lot to cover in regards to Mucha and his life and how his career progressed and evolved. There's just so much there. It's a pretty robust history, and I find it to be really interesting. So my Summer with the Masters video will probably be just kind of a summary, but I'd love to do like a 2-month event and just dive into the story of Mucha and the different players in his life and all of that stuff. But it really just depends. I really think there's a lot more to him than maybe we think of as crafters and as people that like his art. There's a lot more depth in his his uh, just his history and how integral culture was to him is just really cool. So I'd like to share more.
What is your dog?
I'm sorry?
What kind of dog?
He's part husky and part Malamute.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pretty.
Oh, thank you.
I got a Siberian myself.
Oh yeah. His ears didn't go up, but yeah, he's got the eyes.
Hey, he almost looks like that one dog. It almost looks like a albino, but it's not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. He's part husky and a little Malamute too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pretty.
Thanks. Let's go. Let's go. But yeah, so we'll see. We'll see. I'm just pondering that idea, mainly because I'm learning that there's so much artwork from Alphonse Mucha that, the posters from Sarah Bernhardt's plays, of which there are 9 main ones, I think that would make a really great diamond painting series. Gizmonda was the first, and so it'd be really cool to see all 9 of them. And then, his portraits kind of post panels and kind of the Art Nouveau style that he is associated with, even though he didn't like to be associated with Art Nouveau. His kind of Slovak paintings when he returned to, is it Prague? I forget. Anyway, I still have more research to do. They're completely, there's a lot of similarities because of his technique and stylings, but it's much less frivolous. At least that's how it was interpreted, is those images were less quote unquote frivolous as compared to his like panels and stuff, and a little bit more serious. And it's kind of interesting. Once again, I'll save it for the actual story, but his themes and imagery kind of changed, even though his painting style remained the same. And a lot of those images I really love too. I think that they're incredible. So I'd love to do a diamond painting of some lesser known Muchas and more, serious, I guess, depictions of things that Mucha did. There's just so much there. So I think there's a lot of content and stuff to be had talking about Mucha. So we'll see, but that's kind of my plan, or what I'd like to do. As far as my other whips, no other progress on anything. I've got my lotus and koi fish. I've got my custom for Apollo, which I will be working on sporadically because I still want to work on that for Jaded Jamboree, because we still have all of May to do for that event. So I'll be working on that in tandem with the Mucha from Diamond Painting Shop. I also have Stella by Diamond Painting Shop. No progress on that. So Lotus, Custom, Stella, Summer. Okay, cool. And then my last one, that's a whip, is Harbor Lights by Dominic Davidson in Diamond Painting Shop. That one I did actually work on a little bit yesterday when I got home from the bar, the club, and I got like one section done before I decided I needed to go to bed. But I ran out of a color that I still have quite a bit on the canvas that I need to do. So I need to reach out to Rosa over at Diamond Painting Shop and just let her know. But until I get either some more from her, or if she suggests that I just buy them myself, I don't mind either way. That kit was sent to me to review. I did not pay for it, so I'm in no means gonna be like, you need to send me the extra drills if it's just cheaper for everyone for me just to buy them on my own. I'll happily do that. I think I may have that color in my storage, my backup storage, but I don't think I have nearly enough to finish. So we'll see what she says. But anyway, that kit's on pause until I get those, and I'll keep working on it, but I'm pretty much halfway done with that, and that's like a 96 by 120, so another very, very large canvas. But it's moving fast. There's a good amount of color blocking, some line blocking. There's not a ton of confetti in that kit. So, but I will say with Summer from Alphonse Mucha and Diamond Painting Shop, there is a lot of confetti, and I don't know what it is about that color palette. I think I've mentioned it before, but for whatever reason, that color palette has just not been super inspiring for me. And I just haven't found myself that, like, I'm working on it right now. And I'm just, it's a little bit of, not a slog, but I'm just like, I don't know, for whatever reason, I'm not enamored with it like I was with Gizmonda, and like I have been, I completed Winter by Alphonse Mucha and Diamond Painting Shop, and that one's, from what I remember, was fine, but for whatever reason, this one I find myself finishing a color, and I'm like, okay, let's get up and do something. Like, I'm a little, So I'm not sure if that's a result of me just probably needing a break from diamond painting in between, after finishing that giant kit, or if Summer itself just isn't my jam, which is fine. I love Old Masters and Alphonse Mucha, but not every single one's gonna be a knockout. But for whatever reason, this one it hasn't caught me up in it yet, like other ones I've done. So we'll see. I'm gonna keep working on it, of course, but it might just go a little slower. And then what else? I think that's pretty much it for diamond painting. I need to connect with Katie and just confirm details, but I think we're moving right along. We'll have our kickoff videos on June 1st with the sign-up sheet. So you'll have all that. I know a couple people have messaged me on Instagram and or emailed me about that event, so I need to respond to those. Maybe I'll just do that tonight to make sure everyone has what they need. What's going on here? Why are we? What's happening? Let's go this way. This is gonna be me being such a curmudgeon, but I'm just gonna, oh, they're stopping to take a picture. Okay, good. Hold on. A little off-leash dog action, great. Okay, sorry. Just trying to get through the people. I am such a Scrooge McDuck, but in Golden, I don't know what it is. Well, I guess I know what it is. It's a beautiful town, especially with the weather being nice the way it is. I get it, but at the same time, it's, people just do weird stuff around here. Like, for instance, today I was headed home, pulled up to my house, and somebody was driving. I was coming one way down the road. They were coming the opposite direction, and they just crawled to like almost a complete stop, like right near where I park in front of the house. So I was like, okay, they're just driving slow, whatever. So I kept driving down the block flipped a Yui, and then I was like, by the time I do this, they'll be, whatever she's doing or whatever they're doing, they'll have gone past. Flip around, come back down the block. They're still crawling. And I realized their daughter was just, it seemed to be just walking, but I don't know what the special occasion was. But they were taking pictures of her walking down the sidewalk as they're slowly crawling down the street. I don't know if she had a new outfit or was taking pictures for a particular reason. Just so weird. And so then I'm like right behind them, like, okay, let's move along. Like, you're right in front of my parking spot, and she's getting mad at me and like has her hand out the window, like, go around, you know, we're doing some sort of weird photo shoot. I'm like, I'm trying to park where you're conducting your photo shoot in front of my house. Like, yeah, but she didn't. So I finally like put my blinker on, like, I'm trying to turn here. And then finally they got the hint and pulled around the corner. But little things like that, like little awkward moments like that happen a lot around here, where like me and Apollo will be walking down the street and a car will come up behind us and just park right where we're walking and just kind of idle or slowly creep up. And I'm like, I don't know if they're trying to get a good look at Apollo or if they really did need to park there, but it happens a lot where people are just like awkwardly just like kind of creeping, you know? And I don't know what it is. I notice it here almost every walk that we go on, more than I did not really notice that anywhere else I've lived, but around here, people just like don't have an agenda and just kind of like, creep around in cars and just kind of Sunday drive around. And I'm like, I don't know if they're pulling up because they want to talk, or like I said, if they're trying to look at Apollo, but it's just so uncomfortable. So I find myself a lot of times, churning in a different direction or churning back on the way I was going just to like end them slowly driving behind us, So I just try to like make it awkward so they'll stop. I don't know what it is. It's very strange. But now we're over by the Coors plant. This is kind of the industrial Coors plant area. And there used to be a big parking structure in a building right here in this dirt lot. They demolished it, I want to say 2 years ago, and completely scraped it. And they're going to be redeveloping this as a new little corporate area that's going to have shops and all sorts of stuff. So it's going to become like a little shopping center, some restaurants and stuff in a multi-story building right here. It's part of Coors, and then they'll be using this parking lot for it. But yeah, so little stuff like that. And then like when we'll go on walks, just a lot of like people awkwardly kind of stopping, and then you kind of realize, oop, I don't know what kind of dead animal that is. I hope it's not a kitty cat. What is that? Oh, it's a dead goose. So it looks like it got hit. Oh, I'm sorry, baby. Yeah, lots of people will like stop to take little pictures or just like stop to talk, but it's fine. It's all fine. Like, humans are doing human things. Like, I'm not complaining about that. But when someone stops directly in front of you as you're walking and then just kind of turns and stares at you, it's like, what do you want? How can I help you? A lot of that stuff. And I don't know, I just get weird vibes sometimes by the folks around here. Everyone's very friendly, but it's like, I'm so used to just keep your head down, keep walking, I'm on a mission, I'm walking my dog, I'm going in a specific direction, but then the neighborhood vibe around here is much more just kind of like meandering, and it feels weird. It feels like people are, certain folks are like in zombie mode because they don't seem to really have a direction, and then they just kind of start walking towards you. Like a lot of times I'll be walking on this side of the street, someone will be walking towards me on the opposite side of the street, and they'll just kind of start making like a meandering diagonal towards us, and I'm like, I don't know if they're coming over to pet Apollo or wanting to engage, but it's so uncomfy. So I don't know, maybe I'm just too much of a recluse, but I'm just like, okay, Apollo, let's just go, or I'll churn, or I just try to get away from that, because I'm just like, what do you want? Like, why are you were walking in a straight line down this street, and for no apparent reason, you've decided to churn and start kind of meandering towards me. And I'm like, this is like some Walking Dead stuff. it just icks me out for some reason. Maybe I need to get over that and just be like, oh, hey, come over here. Like, how's it going? Having a good day? But that's just not, like, I'll wave to people. I'll say hello. If someone, like just a minute ago, engages with me, I'll talk to them. But like, for someone just to be like looking at me and crossing the street, walking towards me without any sort of like, I don't know what their intentions are. I'm just like, get away, but maybe I'm just being a negative Nancy, but I don't know. It's just weird. I don't like it. But maybe I need to get used to it. But anyway, so yeah, I don't know how we got, well, okay, we were talking about summer not being necessarily my cup of tea, but I'm still working on it. But yeah, that's about it. I tried in the earlier recording today that I decided to bail on, I tried talking about what I have kitted up, not started, and I just don't remember anymore. So I can't really cover those. I know I have Inner Garden kitted up, but that's pretty much all. I think the reason why I can't think of them is because I think that's it. I think that's the last thing that I haven't actually put drills down on that is kitted up. So I think that's why I'm having a hard time. So Inner Garden, I think, is my last kit that's kitted up, not started. So everything else at least has a drill down on it. But yeah, that's kind of life stuff. And we've already gone 1.66 miles. So we're gonna come over here, probably cross the street, and then head back to the house. But I did want to touch on skincare stuff because I feel like I haven't gotten to chat about it. And I have been looking through comments, not all of them, but if I do happen to have my phone on me and a new comment comes in, I get a notification, so I'll see it. I did see at least one, if not a couple, people mention, oh, I'd love to hear more about skincare. And someone even specifically said, I'd love to get recommendations on just like a simple routine. I think they might have even said sensitive skin, I don't remember, but just like a simple routine. So I'd love to provide some suggestions there. If I had planned better, I could do just a video in the bathroom and show you actual examples, but I might just have to put pictures in. We'll see. Apollo, what's going on? He is just, he's having a rough go of it. He needs some off-leash time for sure. He's having a rough go. He's just like anything that can distract him. He's like, what? I smelled something. What's that? Is that something? What's over here? Oh, I'm just like, dude, calm down. When we were at the house, he was like gnawing on his chew toy like his life depended on it. I'm like, okay, you have some energy that we need to get out of you. But yeah, I think someone had also asked, like, how did you get so involved into skincare? So yeah, let's just touch on it. Might as well. I've talked about it before. I do have a skincare specific video that I put up last summer. So if you want to hear, I think that video was like 3 hours long, going into all the different product types and steps and stuff. You're more than welcome to go check that out. I think there's a lot more depth in that. I could go way deeper, but that's kind of a overview of different products and stuff that I've at least tried in the past, different styles of products and steps. But I got into skincare Probably about 8 years now. 8 years ago, I've dealt with adult acne and not only just clogged pores, blackheads, and like general pimples, but every few months I would get kind of a cystic, like infected pimple that would get really big and kind of turn into a boil and be bloody and disgusting and painful and just rough. And I would get them on my chin, on my temples. One time I got one right near my eye, kind of close to my tear duct, and that was horrible and painful. And most recently, because I still get them, it's just that it's far less frequent. It's maybe one a year, maybe. But most recently, last year, I had one on my neck, and I couldn't get to it because, you know, your neck parts are really fleshy and squishy, so I wasn't able to have any sort of pressure on it, you know, like usually I'd wait till they come to a head and then I would pop or extract them myself, but this one I just couldn't get to. It was like really in there. And so let's go under here. Let's go under here. This place is called Goosetown Station. It's a little bar. They do live music and stuff, but they are not open today. My goodness, Apollo. I wish this was working. I wish this walking was calming you down. Seems to only be enraging him with all the different smells and bunnies and stuff. Come on, focus up. What is this? Apollo, geez. I'm sorry, everyone. He's on one today. I do not know where we're going, but it's fine. I've never been down here before. Let's go. Let me put your light on. Let me put your light on, you psycho. You psycho dog. Up. So, yeah, so I've been dealing with that pretty much my entire adult life, off and on. But for whatever reason, about 8 years ago, 7-8 years ago, I started getting them a lot more frequently. I don't know if it was a change of age or hormonal or whatever, but started just breaking out and almost had like kind of my teen breakout prone skin again at the age of, right around like 30, 31. And so I was like, what the heck is this? So I've never taken skincare seriously up until that point. My mom took me to a couple dermatologist appointments during my teenage years, but any suggestions that they ever gave us, I never really followed through on. You know, they'd prescribe a tube of something, I'd use it until whatever current breakout I was experiencing went away, and I'm like, oh, it worked. See ya, and then sit in a cabinet and never to be seen again, or tried Proactive, and just I was never consistent with anything. I would use it until I thought, pep up. Oh my God. Apollo, you and I need to talk. What's happening? He just went to go jump on the little barrier right here and he slammed right into me. We're both just in a mood today. But anyway, so let's see. Okay, so we're almost out of battery. So the battery's gonna die, I'll swap it out. And then I'll probably have to delete a couple files because we're already at 50 minutes. So let me go ahead and do that now before we jump into this. We'll probably need to turn around here soon. I think it's totally on me, his attitude. He's just reflecting my energy, and my energy right now for some reason is just generally perturbed. I don't know what's going on. I need to go home and just relax. Maybe it's like the Monday scaries. Is that what they call that? I don't know. I typically don't experience that, but maybe today's an off day for me. But anyway, um, so yeah, was just dealing with a lot of stuff kind of sprouting back up that I hadn't dealt with since I was a teen. And I was finally, adult enough to be like, okay, we need to figure out like what is going on here. I've always had like oily, clogged, congested skin, but like this is just more than I've ever dealt with before. So my cousin, who now lives in Hawaii, but at the time, no, she lived in Hawaii at the time too, but right out of college, she went into modeling. And so she lived in New York for a while and, had makeup artists and, estheticians or whatever that would help her out. And she learned a lot of stuff about makeup and skincare. So I asked her, like, do you have any suggestions for me? Like, I need to figure this out. And she was like, have you ever heard of K-beauty or Korean beauty or Korean skincare? And I was like, no. But I guess yes and no. No in the sense that I'd never tried anything, but yes in the sense that I saw a lot of skincare and beauty products in advertisements because I, at the time, and still am a fan of J-pop and K-pop. And so a lot of those K-pop artists would do like ads for different brands and stuff. So I'd see them on advertisements. I just didn't connect it to anything that I would personally use. So I looked into it, fell down the rabbit hole of skincare and learning about all of it, and started purchasing some products and just got obsessed with not only, the formulas and ingredients and stuff, but how affordable a lot of things were, all the packaging and the allure, and like the whole thing was just speaks to me as a consumer of everything and somebody that likes to collect and obsess. It was just like right up my alley. So I started getting into it. Hold on. So yeah, this is also this fenced off area, this building here. It used to be a bunch of old businesses, but it's owned by Coors. There was some businesses down here, but this is also where they used to build. They have like a chemical and like industrial technology, I guess is what we'll call it. Essentially, Coors helped develop a lot of like wartime era like chemicals and weapons and different, some scary stuff. And this old building used to be where they'd manufacture and research a lot of that stuff. So it's all boarded up now. So this is another building that will be torn down. I think torn down or maybe just revitalized, and it'll be part of that new complex which I was talking about, and that's just across the street here. So this whole area is going to be kind of redeveloped to be modern and brought up to the standards of golden, I guess. But anyway, so just fell in love with it, and one of the things that I started doing is watching a lot of skincare content creators and bloggers and vloggers and this and that. And because I was buying so much stuff and I like to write and share my opinions and reviews on things, I decided to get into that myself. So became a little skincare YouTuber and developed partnerships and with different brands, and I got sponsored sometimes, and I'm still on the PR list for a lot of brands. Will still send me skincare and stuff. So got super into it. My skin started improving a lot, and just trialing different products, and yeah, got really into it. And that's kind of where we are today. I stopped creating content really about skincare when I discovered diamond painting, because I just didn't have the bandwidth to create content for both things. So I kind of let that slide, and I did kind of let my skincare routine slide too, because I'd, be up until midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning diamond painting, and then I would just crawl into bed and not wash my face and not do the sunscreen stuff. I was still doing sunscreen here and there, but I was like religious about my skincare for a long time. And I just kind of let that go because my interests had changed and my skin started to show it for sure. So I feel like I found more of a balance, or at least I kind of I now make it a point to do my skincare routine and keep up on all of that stuff no matter what. Sometimes it's more simplistic. Sometimes I do a longer routine if I kind of want a self-care moment, that type of thing. But I'm much more invested in it now. And right now I'm in a season of being more interested in writing reviews for skincare. I've gotten back into writing blog reviews and posting on my WordPress and sharing reviews on my skincare Instagram and on a couple different skincare Facebook groups. So I think maybe that's another reason why my my motivation for diamond painting content creation has kind of dipped, because I've been more invested in writing skincare stuff. So it just kind of ebbs and flows, I think, for me. But yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at as of today. Let's go ahead and, Apollo, I'd like to go ahead and cross the street here. Come on. And we're gonna sneak our way over to the river and then go under the bridge, I think, and then head back to the house, because I don't know if we're gonna have enough battery to finish this chat. But so that's where we are today. And in that time, I've learned so much about product, skincare ingredients and different brands. I have experience with so many different brands and products. There's probably more items on the shelf at a Sephora or Ulta that I have tried than I haven't at this point, because there was a time when I was trialing a product, usually for a month was my average, and once that month was over, no matter how much I had left of the product, I'd either give it away or turn it into hand soap or make some other use out of it, or just throw it away or set it aside for later use. But every month I was writing a review, picking something new, and my routine can have, at the peak of my skincare obsession, this is what I'm talking about. Like, people will just be walking and then they'll just stop dead. And it's like, did you did you have a narcoleptic episode? Why? Let's keep moving. So yeah, I think at the peak of my skincare hobby obsession, my skincare routine would have anywhere from 12 to 18 steps. So just imagine, for a good long while there, I was rotating 12 to 18 products in and out of my routine, sometimes every month, And you do that for a number of years. We're talking hundreds of skincare products. I think on my blog that I currently have, my WordPress, I have probably around 400 to 500, if not more, skincare reviews. And some of them are shorter content, but they're generally shorter. They're not like a novel, but some of them are, pretty long-winded and go into heavy detail about my experience with them. So there's a lot there. You want to go down to the water? Whoa, the water's getting really high. You want to go check it out? Come here. You can go get your little paws wet. This whole area was not covered in water just a couple of weeks ago, but with the snow melt, we're filling up. Okay, let's go. Let's go on this side for me, please. Thank you. Thank you. Um, so yeah, and I would always kind of stagger a lot of my products. So a lot of people, they ask skincare reviewers, how do you know what's working and what's not working if you're constantly changing things out? So it wasn't like I'd start everything on the same day and then, once a month hits, just completely reset. You always wanted to leave at, a week, ideally, gap in between swapping something out. So you swap out a new cleanser, give that at least a week to see initial results. If you're having any, immediate reactions to it, to the formulation, immediate breakouts, contact dermatitis. And if things look good, then you keep using it. And then maybe now it's time to swap out your serum. See if that has some kind of effect. If not, swap that out. So I say 12 to 18 every month, but that's not entirely accurate. Some products I would use for much longer because you'd need the results were more long-term. Like if you're talking something that's supposed to be anti-aging or change texture of the skin, you need 3 months or longer to start seeing effects of that, especially things that are supposed to like lighten hyperpigmentation and stuff need months and months and months to do their thing. So, but regardless, the point is I was trialing a lot of stuff. And now I still am, but not nearly as frequently. In my routine is far less robust than it used to be. I tend to streamline a little bit more, and I tend to hold on to products because it's money. And so I don't just pitch stuff after a month, oh, this $50 serum is only a third of the way empty. See ya. I'm a little bit more frugal in that regard now because I don't create as much content. Let's go this way and then we'll head back to the house. But yeah, and I am 37. I have combination skin. It's more just normal skin now, but it tends to lean more towards certain areas being oily, or I'm seasonally oily. My nose is particularly congested. A lot of that has to do with lifestyle. Just drink, and maybe that's already cutting to the chase here, but I guess let's start there. So yeah, 37, combination skin, male, half Hispanic, Mexican descent, half Black, African American. So that's kind of my skin profile, and I deal with acne, and I am now of a certain age that I'm also trying to address fine lines, wrinkles, just signs of aging, sallow skin, that type of thing. So that's kind of what my skin condition is and some of the things that I deal with. So what I'm trying to deal with might not be what you're trying to deal with, but I've used so many products in the past that even if I use something that's not ideal for me, so many of my reviews end with, this isn't the right product for me, however, I could see it being perfect for someone with a dry skin type or someone that's trying to deal with this. So I do have that kind of anecdotal experience of just trying a lot of stuff. I'd even try products that I knew weren't geared quote unquote towards my skin, but sometimes you never know. Like sometimes even though it's marketed towards a particular skin type or person, it can work for other people. So I would just kind of come one, come all, just spend money. But I will say at the end of the day, so much of what we deal with on our skin is genetic and lifestyle choices outside of topical products. A huge majority of things that people try to address or struggle with comes down to, what is your diet like? How much water are you drinking? Are you a smoker? Do you drink alcohol? How much sugar do you consume? All of those things can play a role into how, your skin, how your outward facing self kind of looks. So if you're trying to make some significant changes to not only your health, but also like your skin health, that's probably the first place I would look to. Because it's like fighting a losing battle, right? If you're like, oh, I'm gonna buy all of this all these skincare products to address my skin dryness and kind of sallow looking skin, but I hate water, I'll never touch water, and I drink a ton of soda, like, you're kind of fighting a losing battle there. And the same with, oh, look at all the geese just having a little night stroll. Should we go down there and get a closer look? I don't want to bother them, but it would be cool. Next time, we're on a little bit of time crunch with the battery, but that's so cool, little nighttime. They're just chilling. Looks like they're grabbing stuff from underneath. They must be eating something down there. But anyway, so I'd say those are probably the biggest things. You know, oh, I've got some fine lines and some stuff like around my mouth and that I'm trying to deal with. You know, what moisturizer do you have? Or what moisturizer do you recommend? Also, I smoke, constantly. It's like, oh, okay. There's nothing that I can suggest that's gonna like work that back necessarily. So once again, lifestyle and genetics are kind of like the biggest thing. Genetics you can't control, but lifestyle changes. And this is just from personal experience. My skin has never looked better, and I think it all comes down to the fact that I stopped drinking. So that's kind of where I'd start there. And if those are changes that you're not willing to make, or the skincare and appearance of skin is not important enough to you to make those changes, then I'm not judging you. But yeah, this video might be a little bit irrelevant at this point. But if you like to hear me talk, then keep listening. But yeah, so that's kind of where I'd start, is just kind of looking inward and really assessing, like, what are the things that you're doing today that are negatively impacting your skin, before you start talking about like what kind of lotions and potions can I slap on to make it look like I'm making the right choices. At least that's my personal opinion. Outside of that, skincare for me is really about, at the end of the day, combating my acne, keeping that at bay, as well as doing a lot of preventative stuff for aging. And then the final thing would be dark spots, hyperpigmentation, because in a previous life I used to tan and go out in the sun all the time, and sunscreen was just not something that I thought about, because I wanted to be dark and crispy and golden. And I'd say that's once again a lifestyle choice, but it is so incredibly harmful. And I know people hate to hear that because they like their sun and they like, their Florida life or wherever they are, and like being by the pool and, snapping the I'm just at the pool relaxing selfies. And I'm like, sunscreen, my God, sunscreen. And protective clothing. Like, I know it's cute and all, but like, what's not cute is melanoma. So I don't know. So yeah, sun exposure is hugely important. Like, that's going to age you and impact your skin so much, and even potentially cause you to, have surgeries that you wouldn't otherwise have to have, and skin grafts and all this horrible stuff that can happen. It's just like, I think skin cancers are the #1 diagnosed form of cancer globally, certainly in the US, but potentially globally. And I just feel like as a society, we just have this kind of laissez-faire attitude towards sun protection still, and I don't know why. And there's just this allure of golden skin and this allure of being by the pool and stuff. It's so weird. And I was totally in that camp, and I'm still in that camp of wanting to be outside in the sun and enjoy it, but I take measures to protect myself now. But I still have a lot of sunspots and deeper freckles, and when I get a pimple because of genetics, dark spots and hyperpigmentation come in to the rescue so quickly. So any little issue, I get left with a mark for months and months, and I have to use products to try to lighten that or reduce the look of it, especially on my jawline and chin where I shave. I get lots of hyperpigmentation and dark spots on my neck and chin, or jawline, I should say. So I'm always working to kind of keep that skin tone even. But anyway, once again, this doesn't need to be you. I'm not telling you everyone should be working on their stuff. Like, if this is not a concern for you, you're just living your life and that it is of zero importance, then once again, don't worry about it. But I guess I'm vain, and I do want to not look as old as I am, and I don't want like my poor lifestyle choices to dictate kind of like my outside features, you know. So I'm trying to work on various different things. But anyway, and skincare is also something I do to relax, and I think it's fun. I like playing with the little bottles and the different liquids and lotions and creating a little ritual around it. I set a candle, put on a YouTube video, or turn on some music, and I just spend some time just me. So a lot of it comes down to that too. But anyway, so if I was going to give advice to someone with sensitive skin or reactive skin that's looking for just a basic skincare routine. Let's say you're walking into this and the only thing that you do is whatever shampoo goes down to your face when you're shampooing your hair, that's your skincare. I'd say the most important things are cleanser and sunscreen. Those are like the two main things that I would do, because you want to protect your skin from future damage, and sunscreen goes a very long way to do that, and it'll kind of keep things from getting worse in terms of UVA rays or the aging rays, keeping hyperpigmentation from darkening super aggressively, and it'll just protect you from potential risk of skin cancer. Or help. It's not a be-all end-all. There's so many other steps. Limiting your time outdoors during peak sun hours, protective clothing, all of that stuff is just as important. But sunscreen is part of that arsenal. And then you need to wash the sunscreen off at the end of the day. So get yourself a nice, basic, gentle cleanser. You want to look for something that's pH balanced. The majority of products in the market these days are now pH balanced. It used to not be the case, but your CeraVe's, your La Roche-Posay, pretty much most of your cleansers that you can find at the grocery store or the pharmacy are going to work for you. A lot of those stores like a Walgreens or a CVS or a Kroger will have their own private label kind of dupes or copycat versions of those classic products that are much less expensive. So you can always go with those. But yeah, and they have some that are like called gentle or for sensitive skin. They're a little bit more creamier as opposed to a gel. But at the end of the day, snagging any one of those should be fine. I always recommend patch testing your skin, meaning, put a little bit on the back of your arm or on your jawline or neck, where if you do get some irritation, it's not going to be super noticeable. Just test it there for a day or two to see if you get any redness, irritation, and if you're not, then you should be fine. So I'd start there, and then as far as sunscreens go, you have a myriad of options to choose from. Sunscreen formulations are getting better and better every year. Companies are making them more cosmetically elegant while still offering protection, so you don't have to deal with a super greasy, gross, smelly sunscreen, smelly face. You don't have to deal with the intense white, like the zinc that lifeguards would have on their nose, that white paste. We're so far beyond all of that. Of course, they still exist, but there's a lot better options out there for you. One of my favorite brands right now is a brand called Vacation. They make a number of different products for body and now face. They just recently released some face products, but I love their vibe. Their 80s and 90s nostalgia kind of packaging and vibe and marketing is really cool. And they make some fantastic products. I've been loving their classic whip sunscreen for my body. It comes in a whipped cream can. I've also been really enjoying their just classic lotion. Comes in SPF 30 and 50. You can get it in a lotion or a spray. And it is fragranced, but it has this, to me, fantastic kind of tropical resort beach kind of scent. And it's not super overpowering. And it makes me feel like I'm living in Miami every day, And I love it. But you can also find some great fragrance-free versions, once again, from brands like CeraVe, La Roche-Posay. A lot of those brands will have a sunscreen SPF. The only thing that I will say is if you are a person of color or a deeper skin tone, I tend to avoid mineral sunscreens, ones that contain zinc oxide or titanium dioxide. Those tend to leave a cast on the skin because they're kind of insoluble powders that are used for sun protection. And even though that might make you think, oh, well, that means that it's sitting on the surface of the skin reflecting UVA and UVB rays. It does a little bit, but marketing and companies will lead you to believe that that's how it works in total, and that's not the case. Pretty much all sunscreens work by your skin absorbing the UVA and UVB rays, and those compounds, be it zinc oxide, titanium dioxide, avobenzone, octocrylene, all of those traditional sunscreen filters, they take that those UVA and UVB rays, they absorb them and convert them into heat energy, and disperse that heat across your skin. And that's how they pretty much all work. However, mineral sunscreens do, in a small percentage, reflect the rays, but it's not completely one or the other. So if one of your fears is, oh, I don't like chemical sunscreens because my skin absorbs them, and mineral sunscreens, they just reflect. That's not true. Your skin absorbs it all. And yeah, a lot of people also have reservations about wearing sunscreen because there are studies that have shown that chemical compounds in sunscreens can end up over time in your bloodstream in incredibly small amounts. But just like anything else we put on and around our bodies, it can end up inside our bodies. It's not intrinsically related to there being issues, maybe not issues, but like a danger associated with that. And how I always try to sell people on wearing sunscreen is, show me the amount of diagnosis of some sort of illness that you've obtained from wearing sunscreen. There are zero. Sorry. We had a roller skater come by with a dog, and Apollo lunged at them and... Sorry, everyone. This boy, we're now at almost 4 miles, and we're both So yeah, even though those studies have proven that that is something that can happen when you apply topical products onto your body, they can be absorbed or are absorbed, depending on the molecular size or whatever. But from what I know, there are 0 cases of any sort of disease, illness related to wearing sunscreen. Compare that to average diagnosis of skin-related diseases and cancers, and so it's kind of a pick your poison, you know. The of odds of wearing sunscreen having a benefit towards you are far higher than the odds of wearing a sunscreen negatively impacting you. But once again, society, we like to cling on to these, you know, independent studies, or I read a news article somewhere that says this, and it's like, cool. But and then what? Like, that's just where our need for more information these days has just stopped. Is like, I read a headline in an article that says sunscreen chemicals absorb into your skin. It's like, okay, so what? You know, we've been utilizing these ingredients for decades and decades and decades, and not a single time has that been linked to some sort of anything dangerous or nefarious. In fact, they have more of a chance of saving you from something dangerous or nefarious. But I could get on so many soapboxes about the importance of sunscreen, but it's just, I don't know why it's a taboo subject, or like people don't want to hear about taking care of themselves. And it's like, it's the most simplest way to add a very important layer of protection to keeping your skin healthy and happy. So if you're looking to start a skincare routine, that should be your absolute basis. Nothing else matters if you're not going to wear sunscreen. All the work that you're doing to, you know, combat fine lines or keep your skin hydrated and plump and keep those dark spots away at bay, none of that matters if you're not going to put sunscreen on before you walk out the door. You're just playing a never-ending game of tug of war with yourself. So that's where I would start. Put the sunscreen on, wash the sunscreen off. Put the sunscreen on, wash it off. That would be my bare bones, sensitive skin, daily routine. And it takes trial and error, especially with sunscreens, because sometimes they'll put like essential oils in them, or citrus, which citrus oils can react poorly in sun and actually burn and cause irritation. So I don't know why some companies decide to put orange oil or grapefruit or lemon peel oil in their sunscreens. It's just not a smart idea. So I try to go for, on my face, something fragrance-free or lightly fragranced. Double check if I can to make sure there's no citrus ingredients. On my body, I'll put stuff that's fragrance because I like smelling beachy and fun. But they make plenty of, for sensitive skin or reactive skin, plenty of fragrance-free options. And I'll throw some pictures of some on the screen here. And you can find them as pricey or as not pricey as you want. You can get mineral sunscreens that have a tint to them, so you don't have to worry about that white cast. Oh, going back to skin of color, mineral sunscreens tend to leave a white cast, so I almost always use chemical, aka organic sunscreens. Avobenzone, octocrylene, oxybenzone, Tinosorb S, Uvinol A+. There's so many different UVA and UVB filters out there. But as long as it's got at least an SPF of 30 or higher, that's typically what I go for. If you're someone that likes to be out in the beach, all glowy and covered in oil, Vacation brand makes a SPF 30 baby oil, so you can still look all slippery and dolphiny on your beach towel while protecting yourself. They make this oil called Chardonnay oil that is fabulous. I've been using it, mixing it with my regular sunscreen just to give a little extra glow when I'm out during the day. SPF 30. They make a tinted face serum that you can use to add a bit of bronze and color to your face, and I really like that because it kind of covers up my dark spots, but it doesn't look like makeup. And it's an SPF 50. It's fantastic. They make a tanning lotion that's also SPF 30, so you can put it on and it'll actually give you kind of a fake and bake while also protecting your skin. Like, there's so many ways to go about getting that glow and that sun-kissed look without compromising your skin and just general health. Yeah, so that's where I'd start. If you're looking for a basic routine, wash your face and put sunscreen on. And if you want more steps than that, the next thing that I would suggest, Apollo, come on, buddy, you're really breaking me down. You're pushing me to the edge. I would say do a night moisturizer. So in the morning, your sunscreen would be, should have ingredients in it that will moisturize and hydrate the skin. And then at night, come on, get up there, you little brat. I'm over it. Come here. What's going on? Talk to me. What's wrong? You seem extra fussy today. But I am also extra fussy today, so. Yeah, so your sunscreen should have, look for things like squalane, even silicones, dimethicone can help hold hydration to the skin. Look for things like hyaluronic acid, glycerin. Those will be humectants that help to hydrate the skin. So they should act as your daytime moisturizer. And then at night, if you've got dry skin, even if you have oily skin, it's nice to put on a moisturizer because that should help to balance your skin's oil production. If it's got the things it needs that you're applying topically, it might trigger your skin to, slow its roll on producing so much excess oil and sebum. So keeping your skin hydrated is kind of important, and skin tends to get dry throughout the night. So pick a good moisturizer. All those same brands, La Roche-Posay, CeraVe, have some good, those are kind of what I would call my, entry-level kind of basic skincare brands. If you want to get a little bit more in depth and you're looking to brighten or to, fight lines and wrinkles, and you want to start talking about, ceramides more in depth, CeraVe, that's what they're based off of, but like ceramides, panthenol, you want to start talking about how to exfoliate, let me know and I can definitely go more in depth on specific steps. But just look for a basic moisturizer. If you have drier skin, you might want something a little bit heavier, so look for something that has maybe like shea butter, shea oil, something that has even you'll see ingredients like cholesterol is a really good ceramide that helps with skin hydration. Yeah, there's a lot of brands, but if you have drier skin, look for a denser, heavier moisturizer that maybe has some more oils in it. If you've got more oily skin and you want something light, you don't want to feel like you're suffocating under your skin, look for maybe a gel moisturizer that still has some of those ingredients. Even if it has oil, doesn't necessarily mean it's going to make you feel oily. So oil-free sometimes isn't the way to go because your skin might need more than that. But if your personal preference is like, I just like it feeling lightweight, there's plenty of gel moisturizers. Neutrogena has some really good ones that are kind of like a Hydro Boost gel cream that are nice and lightweight. I've been using one from a brand that you can pick up at Sephora called Glow Recipe, and it's their Plum Plump moisturizer. And that one has kind of a bouncy pudding kind of jelly texture, and it's very comfortable on the skin. It kind of just melts down, kind of watery, but it still holds a lot of hydration to my skin, makes me look all glowy and dewy, but it's not overbearing. So once again, trial and error is the key to success here. You're not gonna be hitting them out of the park every single time. You're gonna be purchasing products and trying them and being like, ugh, this isn't for me. But that doesn't mean that the entire idea of sunscreen or the entire idea of moisturizer, the entire idea of cleansing isn't for you. It just means that particular product isn't for you. It takes, unfortunately, money and time to work out what is going to work best for you. There's no right or wrong, clear recipe towards perfect skin or a perfect routine right out of the gate. A lot of people have allergies and sensitivities and triggers that they don't even know of until they start playing with skincare, and something completely, causes a reaction. But if you do want to try to improve the look, texture, feel, health of your skin, don't give up. Keep trying some stuff. And like I said, if you need specifics on what you're trying to address or do, let me know, and I can go into some more deeper detail with, once again, exfoliation, toner, different moisturizers. I use some skincare tools like actual devices, so many different things, but it's not necessary. None of that is necessary. At the end of the day, put your sunscreen on and then wash it off before you go to bed. And then put it on again. Rinse and repeat. And that'll go a long way. So anyway, all right, well, we're back to the house and I'm gonna let you go. So don't forget to like, subscribe, share this content with friends, family members, anyone that you think might take some value out of it. Otherwise, happy placing. We'll see you next time. Bye, bye. Come here, sassy mister. Come say goodbye. Come here, sassy boy. Come here. Try again. Come here. Up. Hop up. We're not leaving till you do this. Hop up. Nope. Come here. Sorry, everyone. He's got to at least listen once today. Come here. Sit. Hop up. Good boy. Okay. All right. All right. Bye.